Hello everybody and welcome to Lord of the Reads. So in today's video we're going to be doing my June TBR TBingoR TBR game. I'm wearing the same clothes as in the last video because I'm filming these back to back in an attempt to get to a regular uploading schedule again. So that would be the reason for that. So today we're going to be filming the June version of TBingoR. So let's go over readathons that I'm going to be participating in June. So I think there's only one that I'll be doing, and that is Whateverathon, hosted by Maddie at Book Browsing Blog. I'll leave her announcement in the description because there's rules and competitive things that I'm not going to get into because it would be a lot. But pretty much you read whatever you want, read certain things to get points. But yes, I'm on team Epic and High, the high fantasy team. So I'm going to try to get as many fantasy books on here as possible. I'm going to attempt to still work with the genres that I'm given. Just try to mix with high fantasy so that I can put as many of those on there as possible. But yes, I'm not going to be going over any of the prompts that they fit because I still have to figure that out once I pick my TBR to see what counts as what and try to maximize the amount of points that I have with the books that I pick. So let's go ahead and go over how my May reading went. So this was my May TBR. It's a very big stack. But out of these books, can you guess how many I finished? Out of, I think, 8 books, I finished... Oh no, everything's falling. I finished 3. Mainly because winter took me half the month to finish because it put me in a slump. But that's fine. Just means that if we do have to do a punishment, I have lots of books to choose from. If I get a punishment, it just means that I have to add on one of the books I did not finish onto this month, meaning that I'll have 7 books to read instead of just 6. I'm not going to go over any of the rules. I'm just going to link the playlist in the description so you can familiarize yourself with how it's played because it's a lot of rules and I feel like I'm repeating myself every time I say it in the video, so you can go watch those to familiarize yourself with how I play. Yes, with that we can go ahead and pick my free space book. Okay, let's go ahead and put the chip on for a book of my choice. Okay, so for a book of my choice, I'm going to do A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. I don't know very much about this book, but from what I understand, there is the main character strikes a deal where she has to kill the crown prince of the kingdom that she lives in order to have her sister's freedom. And I believe there's magic. I think it's a high fantasy. But I've heard really good things about it, and I can't wait to give it a try. So this will be the first book on my June TBR for Whateverathon. Okay, let's go ahead with the first spin. And it is N43. So we do not have an N43, so we're going to pick out of the extra prompts. And it is a book from a villain's POV, with no specific genre. Okay, so a book from a villain's point of view. This doesn't necessarily have to be a villain. It could be someone who is just morally gray, something from their perspective. And that's what I'm going to do. For this, I'm going to choose Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. So this is the second duology in the Grishaverse. And it follows, I believe, the point of view of 6 characters. But they're in a group together, and they're thieves, and they steal things and sell them off to other people for lots of money. So, a morally gray set of characters. I loved the first trilogy in the Grishaverse, so I'm really excited to give this one a go. So that is the second book on my June TBR. Okay, second spin. Wrong way. Okay, and it is I-16. There's no I-16, so another random prompt. It is a book with a blue cover with no specific genre. Okay, so for a book with a blue cover, I'm going to do A Court of Thorns and A Court of Mist and Fury. This is the second book to A Court of Thorns and Roses. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is a big book, but it has a blue cover. This is high fantasy, so it'll do very well for Whateverathon. So it's set in a world where there are fairies and high fae, and the first book follows a girl named Feyre, and she does something, and a high fae comes to take her for what she has done as punishment. I really loved the first book. We're going to give this one a go to see how I like it. And since it's high fantasy, it'll be perfect for Whateverathon. So, third book for my June TBR. Third spin. N45. N45 is not on the board, so another random prompt. It is author's name has to have a V, Q, or an X, with no specific genre. Okay, so for an author's name that has a V, Q, or X, I picked Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. This is like the only book that I have on my TBR that has a character's name with an author's name that has a V. I stood there looking. This is the only thing I could find. So, it's not high fantasy, but I can still count it for Whateverathon. It'll be fine. But this is a book that I was really excited to get to. It follows a girl named Cassidy Blake. This is the second book in the series. So it follows a girl named Cassidy Blake who can see ghosts, and her best friend is a ghost. This is because of something that happened when she was young, where she has one foot in the land of the dead and one foot in the land of the living. But they're really chilling books. The first one was set in Scotland. I think this one is set in Paris. Yeah, it has the Eiffel Tower on the front. So, really excited for this. I can't wait. So this will be the fourth book on my June TBR. Fourth spin. B1. B1 is not on the board, so another random prompt. And it is an award winner, so any book that has won an award with no specific genre. Okay, so a book that has won an award for this, I'm going to go with Strange the Dreamer by Leonie Taylor. I started this was on my April TBR, I believe, and I got a good, 150 pages in. But for Whateverathon, we can do books that we've already started, so I'm going to try to do this one, because it is high fantasy, and I do want to finish it. So, yes, this follows a man, and he's a librarian in this world. And in this world, there was a city, it was a magical city, and it was lost. Nobody knows what happened to it. And this man has been studying it his entire life, and he's wanted to go to it, and he may or may not have the chance. And there's a whole bunch of mystery surrounding it and what's inside of it. So, from you know, the beginning part, it's super fast-paced. It's really fun, mysterious. Oh, I've loved what I've read so far, so cannot wait to finish it as the 5th book on my June TBR. And the last spin. I-27. I-27 is not on the board, so one more random prompt. It is a young adult book with no specific genre. And lastly, for a young adult book, I'm going to do The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. I'm probably mispronouncing that name. I'm terrible at names. But I am super excited for this book. I've heard really good things about it, and when I found out that my library had it, I'm like, yes, I need to read this. So it follows a girl, and when all the girls hit a certain age, people have to see what color their blood are, and if their blood is red, then they get to live as a regular person. But if their blood is gold, then something happens to them. I think they have to, I don't really know. She has to go through some kind of ceremony, and she either has to, I don't really know. Something happens to them that's not good. Something happens to them that's not good, and the main character, her blood runs gold during this ceremony. So she finds a group of people that are like her, I think, and they go on to do something that will help their situation. Very vague, because I don't know how to explain it very well, and I don't know very many specifics. But as far as the concept goes, what I understand of it, I'm really excited to get to it. And I believe this is high fantasy, so this will work well for Whateverathon. And this will be the 6th and final book on my June TBR. Okay, so that was my June TBR, decided by TBingoR for Whateverathon. I'm really excited for that. So, yes, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below what you plan on reading in June. And with that, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!